And thank you, as always, for doing this.
Yes, we are on.
Start the clock.
We are on. You can start.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sam Hancock of the Rotary Club of Washington, D.C., Rotary District 7620, and the nation's capital. Thank you for being with us on this new installment of the India-USA ICC. I'm the USA Coordinator President for this organization, and I'm going to turn it over to Vijay to introduce himself. And we have a very exciting program today. It's going to be recorded and made available to all those that have been invited or responded. And so this will go out, Barbara, to hundreds of people. So Vijay, back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sam. Good morning and good evening, everybody. This is Vijay Kevalramani, President of India side of the India-USA ICC. And I welcome you all to today's 7th meeting of our India-USA joint meeting. That's all for me, Dr. Sam. You can continue, please.
Okay. Yes, we have an outstanding speaker today that we met through ESRAG, Environmental Sustainability Rotary Action Group, Mid-Atlantic and the Caribbean. And this is Barbara Zetman-Tingelman, and she has something very special. It's called Climate Fresque. And she's going to explain what this means. It has about 3 or 4 different definitions, all of them good. And we have a excellent write-up in our announcement about this program. So I'll refer everyone back to that. And also we'll have the minutes going out, which will have Barbara's interview here and presentation, and then also some photographs as well. So Barbara, without further ado, I'm going to let you take over as the facilitator, instigator, promoter, perhaps even creator of Climate Fresque. And thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sam. Thank you very much, all Rotarian friends which are here and maybe seeing me afterwards. Can you see my slides? Is it, yeah?
Not yet.
Yeah.
You need to reconnect. You need to share screen.
Okay, wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, now.
Yes.
Yes, now you see it. Okay, now I lost you, but I will get you back. Yeah, the Climate Fresque. It's a project for the Rotarian community. I learned about the Climate Fresque some months ago in Germany, and I started a Rotarian education project for ESRAG. I'm in charge for ESRAG Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, so the 3 countries where we speak most German. And yeah, I'm an incoming president of an eco club. Maybe you know that we have now in Rotary special clubs which call them eco club. So I'm with the Rotary Club Eco Planet. And we have a lot of them in Europe. I don't know if we have them in USA, but I have to check. It's a very good connection to bring this interest together. Yeah. What is the Climate Fresque? It's an educational, collaborative, creative, and science-based. That's a very important thing. It's really science-based. And it gets more awareness and emotional strength to us looking on the causes and impacts of the climate change. The Climate Fresque participants can explore the causes and effects by using a chain of knowledge cards out of the IPCC reports in a very funny and teamwork way. But however, the workshop goes beyond understanding the causes of climate change. It actively promotes exploring opportunities for action and project ideas. And that's very special. I will underline this for us as Rotarian. And together as a team of the workshop members, we can have a discussion about possibilities of projects for us. And that's one of our duties in Rotary. So with these 42 cards in your hands, and that's very important, yet that you really have these cards in your hands and discuss it with your teams at the table. We do it at a large table and lay the cards in this causes and effects row or picture. It's not a simple row. You know that if you know something about the climate change, it's not a simple row. It's a very complicated system. But that is what I always say brings something to your emotions, to your heart. And I think this type of awareness, of empathy, we need to get to act. Because we speak a lot about the climate change since years. Remember when 50 years ago, 72, the book from the Club of Rome was written, the possibilities of growth and where they will end. Nobody really looked at it in the centuries ago, but now it's so worse that we really have to find a way to act. And I'm very sure that the Climate Fest will help to get more awareness and give us the emotional strength to act, to think about in the team and act and think about a new good life. So to understand what is it all about, you see here the workshop, we first explain where it comes from. We have more than 1 million participants worldwide. I checked today. We have also Fresca, who is responsible for India. We have several Frescas who are responsible for the US, and they organize a lot of facilitators there. And we have it in a lot of languages, of course, English, Spain, German, and in a lot of languages, so everybody of the world can do it. We have it in more than 60 countries. And that's really the thing, that it works in 3 phases or rounds. First, we say, okay, how is the system? Like I said to you before, we lie all the cards, the fresco, together. And then we work on our emotions. That's very important, because after understanding really this causes and effects, and I mean, I think you all, especially Dr. Sam, knows what's going out with the climate change and the biodiversity problems. If you really see these effects, you say, oh my God, I can't change. I'm not strong enough to do anything. But then we work on this. We work on this. We ask in the group, how are you feeling? What do you need? And we make we draw some pictures around our cards to have more time to work on the solutions there. And then we get in the third phase, we really say, what can we do? What can you do as a person? What can you do in your system, in your company, in your social community, in your Rotarian community? Because I'm doing this for the Rotary community worldwide now. I'm starting this, so it's very special. And we will see afterwards how perfectly it connects with our area of focus and with our project ideas, and that's it's absolutely great. So that's just a short overview how it works. And here you see again people are hanging over the table and discussing what's on the cards and how do we have to understand it. Then they go in the creative fast and make pictures, and at last here you see how we have on the blackboard solutions, ideas, what can we do? And so it takes of course for all this 3 hours. So that's the thing. Why is a climate issue so complex? Or why it is so hard to get it to the people? Because it's complex, as I said. It divides because not everybody is in the same country living, where we see also today effects, hard effects. Even here in Europe we see it in USA, in Canada, in India. We had in my club a person from Pakistan, and he said, we are really suffering about climate change effects. Yeah, today already, really hard effects they have. So, and a lot of people say, please, I can't hear it anymore, leave me. I'm all over, we speak about climate change. And of course, it's not a solution we can put something on and say, there it is. No, we have to plan to build a strategic view, like in the company, for a lot of years. And that's not so, or that's very hard for the most of us to think in a long-term way. So this strategic thinking in 10, 20, 30 years, and also over countries, because it's, of course, we have to think about our home, our countries, but of course we have to see abroad over the other countries, what's going on there, and how does our action affect the life of people in India and Africa and so on. So that's also something we have to do. Sorry. So where it comes from, just a short story, it comes from a scientist from Paris. He was a teacher at the university and was trying to explain the IPCC report. If you don't know the IPCC report, it's really the statement of the science through the world. It's a report over thousands of sites, and it explains what's going on with the climate change. And it's very complicated. And he found out, like you see here on the picture, he found out if he puts small pictures and graphs on the wall and explains it in this fresco, like you see there, the students are much likely to understand and to remember and to just take it in their emotions. So he said, oh, that's maybe a good idea to start a education project, not only for students. And so he started the Climate Fresk, and now, as I said, we are really more than in 5 years. Now, today, I think we are 1.3 million people all over the world who took place at the workshop. So in 5 years, I think that's really, he started in 28. So, and why is it so strong? It's so strong because it's a nice situation. We are all friends together at the table. It's collaborative. I don't have to stay by my own and say, oh my God, maybe I don't know enough. No, everybody can come if she has a lot of knowledge or nothing, because we are in a team, we help each other. It's visual with the cards, good pictures, good crafts, nice. It's creative, like I said to you, we will paint also. It's not so easy. It's really it goes a little bit in the deep, but not too deep, so it's okay. People can really do it. And it's scientifically proven. That's also very important, that you really can say everything comes out of the IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel of Climate Change. In Germany, we say the World Climate Committee. So it's really scientifically. Nobody can say, no, I don't believe that. That's not true. It's really more than 20 8% of our scientists say, okay, that's right what the IPCC report says. So that's here just for the people who don't know the IPCC report. But I think you know it. So what did I found out about the climate risk in April. I joined a workshop in Munich. I liked it very much. And I said immediately, next day, I will take a training to be allowed to facilitate workshops and get all the information, get the cards, to be able and to get the go from the NGO, because climate risk is a large NGO nowadays, and they give you the permission to lead workshops when you got through the training. And so I did this immediately. I did a professional training because I said, okay, if I go to the Rotarian community, I have to be really good trained to do it. I did it. I started in Germany, as you see here on the pictures in our apartment in Munich. I invited governors, past governors, incoming governors, so that I really had a way in the community and scale it up afterwards. And they were all so expressed about it. So they enjoyed it very much. They really said, my God, what is it? It's so great. Here you see a table that's left side, that's Linda Gibbs, the founder of Synergy Europe. I don't know if you know this organization. It's a very great Rotarian community. And I found friends from ESRAG who supported me, and I did a lot of workshops in Munich. And then what I mentioned before, if you see here on the table the cards, we found out together, the Rotarian friends and me, that we find always fits to the 7 area of focus of Rotary. And so I printed the 7 area of focus as cards, and I said, okay, where are here the causes and effects, where we can put projects out of our area of focus. So, and that's for Rotarians a very good point to say, hey, and that brings us to ideas for projects, which helps the problems in our area of focus, but also in the problems of environmental change and climate change. So you really see, and that's very important, you see the connections about the causes and effects of the climate change system in our 7 area of focus, and even in all the 7 area of focus. That's very important. My friends of ESRAG, we always say the environmental area of focus is not one added. Of course, it's the 7th one, but in the system, it's not a point added. It's how do you say in English? It's a whole system. And in this system, we have the other 6 areas of focus: peace, mental health, mother and child, and so on. So that's why it fits so perfectly to our Rotarian project work. Here you see a picture. I was in Bochum, another city in Germany, and the guy here in the middle next to me is Dr. Ludwig Kalthoff. He is in the international board of ESRAG, and he supports me. He just got before Christmas a trainer too. I organized a training workshop for him. So I'm very proud of this, and so we will bring it to the Rotary Institutes we have here in Europe, and hopefully in the convention in Singapore we have a chance to speak about it. And yeah, and here you see what we can do with it. We can bring it. Of course, we could do workshops with 100 people. We can go in university. I do this in Germany. I go in high schools. Even you can go in ground schools, because we have a version for kids, a card version for kids. It's simpler and not so hard. And you have here on the right side, you see I have it's called a quiz. It's a large picture of the climate twist. You don't see the single picture, the single cards, because it's late. And I can ask questions and say, okay, what do you think? How is what connected? And when people say something right, I will open the picture. That's just a play for 10 minutes to get the people interested in signing up for a workshop. So I'm doing this in Rotary events here. And that's what I said before when we saw the picture about the 7 area of focus. It's really so great that it's aligning with our projects, with our duties out of our area of focus. And that's what makes me hope that it's fitting perfectly in our Rotarian community. And here you see again our 7 area of focus. And what can we do? What can we, as Rotarian, here just to have an imagine about? So that's now the end of a climate fest, how it looks on a table. And imagine you have this on a large table, 2 meters, 1 meter, and it's really impressive to see this system and to see the effects. And it's so bad. The last effects here you see hunger, wars, conflicts, health problems. We know all this, but all the people who took place at my workshops really were shocked, even though they know it, but they really got more awareness about it. So that's very important. So what are the conclusions and the workshop? We want to learn, and we can build up our friendships. That's also one goal for Rotarians, to build up our friendship. And you do that when you are working 3 hours on the workshop. You are somehow get more connected with your friends at the table. You think about actions and maybe decide in this group, or go back to your Rotary Club or to your company or to your community and say, hey, what's about this idea? Can we work on it? Can we change something? And because we really work also on our emotions, you got somehow empowered to speak about it. And maybe sometimes to speak about your worries and your fear, and got out of this and take action. Say, no, I have fear, I feel it, but now I'm going to act with my friends. And so that's also very important, a very important goal. So no, and here I have to show you that. I have to show you that as an example when we work about our feelings combined with our strategic thinking. How can we change, or are we going to change something? What position are we going to take in this system? And there is also a French guy invited this picture, this boat. And there you can say, okay, I'm in the position, I'm hanging up here and looking what's coming in front of us. One guy said it was so funny. He said, no, I go. I'm already in the side boat. Maybe if the large boat will have problems, I have my own small one, and I can maybe go my own way. So you see, it really helps the people to understand their feelings and to come over them, maybe. And that's a friend of my club from RC Ecoplanet, and she was working at the European Parliament, and now she stopped working, or she will stop working in the next months and coming back to Europe, to Germany from Brussels. And she's a doctor of politics, and she enjoyed it so much to discuss this at this picture. So I really love the sailboat. It's so good to work on our emotions. And just some impressions for the possible follow-up, because on the climate fresque, we work on our own thinking, what can we do, what possibilities, what actions could we take. And there's another workshop I'm starting to do after the climate fresque, where we, and that's very, very good, very strategic, where we discuss solutions. So we get cards with solution ideas ready, and then we start discussing in the group as we would be politicians or the UN, and discuss what can we do. Example, are we going to change our habits of food? What does it mean? Maybe rice, to grow rice is a problem, because the rice fields exceed a lot of methane. And so there is a possibility you have to change something, and other rice, salmon and whatever. But of course we should discuss this in an international committee, because to change something like this, or are we going to take the CO2 out of the atmosphere? Is that the right way? What does it cost? Do we have enough money for this? And so that's also a workshop format, which I like very, very, very much. But the climate fresque is a base to really get the awareness and the strengths, the emotional strengths that we have to change something. I'm looking on, I'm good in time. If you look on our Rotary community, what can we do? Or how can the climate fresque help us? Of course, it educates and inspires, as I said. It's a team building. So if you see the 4 questions, does it build friendship? It builds friendship when you work in the 3-hour workshop, and maybe build up action groups afterwards. It promotes, of course, the sustainability. It raises awareness, what I said also, really very much, the empathy. And we speak about, very often we say, we need more empathy for all kinds of creatures in the world, for all people in the world. In India, wherever, we are not alone. And this empathy is needed to have the energy to help other people and not be only selfish. It's an advocate for change, of course, because we go out and say, hey, we have to change something, or start the own thinking process. It's very easy. What do I need? I have my cards. I need a large table. I need some paper. And I need a facilitator, but it's not so hard to learn to make the training. So I say we could scale it up. Imagine if we have 1.4 million Rotarians worldwide. Imagine if we have 10% of them getting trainers. And when I see out of my workshops, I have now, I think I have 40 to 50 people in my workshops, in the Rotarian workshops. I did a lot more, but only for Rotarian and Rotaractors. And I have, out of these 50 people, I have already 7 people, which lets them trained as facilitator. So I have more than 10% of my workshop member participants. They say, we want to take over. We want to help you, Barbara, and we will also do what you do and promote your project in our countries, in our clubs, in our districts. So that's great. That's great. And that's what I would like to go on, to scale up like this. And it really makes a difference. It really, like I saw, it really makes a difference. The people go out of the workshop with another thinking. One of my friends in Munich, he's incoming governor, he said, after this, I understood I have to do something, and we have to do something. And so that's very important. And of course, it's a great opportunity to make hands-on projects. We always, in my club, in my region here, we always say, oh, what hands-on projects can we do? We don't only want to give money or whatever. And that's also great. If you're a facilitator and spend once a month and make a workshop once a month, or go in a school, and of course you don't have to do it alone. There are, like I mentioned, we have thousands of facilitators worldwide, and they are all so active. I just called 2 other French people for my water directors because they do it online. I don't like it to do it online. I really have to train to do the workshop online, but I'm not yet so really good in it. And so I wanted this water directors and Ludwig to get the best workshop of their life. So I asked a friend from UK, a French lady. I know her, she's very, very good, online also. And I said, please make the workshop for my friends. And then I found a trainer, one of the best trainers. He did the training afterwards online, 3 hours. And so you don't have to do it alone. If you just have the project idea and have the room and the community, the school or your club or your district conference, you will find, or I help you to find, all over the world, there are frescas like me, facilitators, not of course not Rotarians, but they are growing, who will help you to do the workshop. They will come for nothing. They do it on a free way. Just sometimes they ask for the NGO for a small donation, because the NGO has to take all the organization and the platform and what they all do. But sometimes they ask for 10 euros for each participant. So sorry, it's nothing. I paid all the fee, all the donations for my water directors, so that the students didn't have to pay anything or whatever, or don't have to make a donation. I said, I take care of this, don't worry. And so that's a really good idea for projects, to go in schools, to if we have friends, if you have directors, teachers in our community of our Rotarian friends, speak with them and tell them, hey, there's a climate fest. It's such a good idea. We go here in Germany, in Munich, we go to a lot of high schools, having in 2 weeks, we are having 100 pupils in a large high school, and we go there with 10 frescas, so like me, and do the workshops in the late afternoon. So that's a possibility, and you can do it by yourself when you get trained, or you find just frescas. Through me, I can help you to get connected in your country. In India, there we have frescas. In US, we have a small, and so in every country, in Canada, in Bulgaria, in every Europe country, in Europe we have a lot, of course. In France we have a lot of, but all over. In Africa, I got connected with people in Africa. They do it. All over the world, they do the fresco. It's really a great tool. So that's what I'm suggesting. And now Sam said I have still 10 minutes to talk with you about the next steps. I have a slide here, so please leave my slide on the screen if possible. And you can ask me questions, or I go my way through what can we do together, or what's the next possibility steps for you as Rotarian. Tim, I don't hear you. your micro is Sam.
Barbara, thank you very much for your presentation. Very interesting. And also you explained it very well, but having these images through your PowerPoint really helped to emphasize that, because you could see the photographs and or the word prompt that you have. It makes it easier to remember. And also at the same time, it gives you a logical flow through what this climate fresque is all about. So looking at not only club meetings, but also district meetings, we have our district meeting coming up. I believe it's the 21st through the 23rd of April. And I'll look at my calendar here in just a minute about that. But that may be a good thing to maybe kick this off. And Rotary District 7620, have you come in by Zoom, or if we have a facilitator, it's in the Washington, D.C. area, that would certainly work. And then we could see if we could possibly set this up not only at the Rotary District as one of the seminars, but maybe even have it as a Zoom meeting, so we could send this out, broader, around the United States and around the world, actually, and see if people would like to tie into that. But I think what you've shared with us in this presentation, Barbara, has been very helpful. And again, this is being recorded, and so this will be sent out to, several thousand people initially. So you never know what kind of impact you're going to have long term. But getting it out and making it available is what's most important. VJ, would you like to make some comments, and then we can go into looking at maybe something for the future for the ICC itself. But why don't you go ahead and comment, and we'll just take it from there. And thank you. Thank you, Barbara.
You're welcome.
Nothing from me, actually. It was a very detailed presentation, so I don't think anybody has any questions left the way she has presented in a nice and beautiful. And we can only suggest that more and more such talks are held across the globe in various Rotary clubs, so that it can be encouraged and awareness can be created about all. That's all from me. Thank you.
Harish, go ahead.
I'd like to second Vijay's comment and yours as well, that the presentation that was actually supplemented with the slides did cover a lot of area and very detailed. And I'm actually quite very much in terms of being empathetic towards this issue. It's something it's really important, and I'm spreading myself thin a whole lot, so I don't want to get into it too much into detail right now. But I had a couple of quick questions for Barbara. The first thing is, Climate Fresque is an independent NGO that is not connected with Rotary, but is partnering with Rotary in this particular effort. Is that correct?
Climate Fresque is a international NGO, large one. They also took part last 2 years at the COP and made a lot of workshops there. So it's really a strong institution, and they have the rights on the workshop, on the cards, and they spread this out for the voluntary facilitators all over the world, like me. And I found it, and I said, me as a Rotarian, it's such a good educational tool to bring it to Rotary. And okay. It's a project, my personal Rotarian project, provided through ESFRAG International, our environmental sustainability Rotarian Action Group. It's supported by a European ESFRAG project. It calls Become Sustainable, and every club climate friendly. through my friend Dr. Ludwig Kalthoff from Germany, which is in the ESFRAG International Board. And so it's not yet linked officially with Climate Fest, but I already wrote to the founder of Climate Fest, to Cedric Ringenbach, the young scientist you saw on the picture who started doing the cards, and we've told him, hey, I want to work, I want to use this for Rotary, and maybe we can have an official link so that we are linked on our websites. So that, like, if you go to the Climate Fest website, you see a lot of companies also use the work. It's very, in France, a lot of the large companies use it. In Germany, a lot of the large companies use it. Siemens, for example, is an international company. They use it at educational workshop for their employees, so that they understand. We have now, you have the thing in US, we have the thing in the European community, that we have to go also with our business, with our companies, to a sustainable way, and the employees have to understand that they can go this way also, and that they want to go this way. And so a lot of companies are using this workshop, and a lot of frescas do that as consultant work. They do it in the personal community for free as a donation and a voluntary work, but a lot of the people do it also on a professional way for the companies. They have to eat also something. So if they, so a lot of young business consultants use it also as a business workshop, but they all have to do voluntary workshops. The Climate Fest NGO really says, hey, we want to see that you do a lot of voluntary workshops, and we have a international website where you have to put your workshops on and say, I did a workshop with 20 people, whatever. So they see, what are you doing? And they want this. They say, you are not going to use it only as a business tool. Yeah.
So as I know you mentioned in your talk that you are going to be part of the Singapore Convention. So you have a breakout session that is it a breakout session, or is it?
Not yet. Of course, because I started this project in summertime. I started it in October, when I'm honest, and I think I was a little bit late. I try. Of course, ESFRAG will be at the international convention, and I hope at least we can speak about it. I don't know if we can make it that we really make a workshop. But there in Singapore, there are a lot of other facilitators. Somehow Singapore is, I don't know, a lot of frescoes. Or at least I'm fighting to have a time, 45 minutes, to make a pitch for it. I'm still working on it. Dr. Sam, maybe you can help me. I don't know. But on the European Institute, it's called, I don't know if you have this in the US, we have here institutes for Europe. There we will do a workshop, and there we will. I have time for a speech about it.
Harish, did you have another question? I think you said you had two questions.
Well, just to follow up on what I just started with the convention participation, but what would be helpful if you have access to would be facilitators in the respective areas, or frescoes in the respective areas. So if we need to contact somebody that's in our district area, we can, kind of get that connection going and see what they can come up with, and, do a presentation in the district conference or something like that, which would be kind of the catalyst for the possibility. And I'll tell you what I'm thinking about is that a club can actually take this on as a project. If they can get a frescoer who is, a person qualified or as a facilitator, it would be a great project to go out to the local schools and or even the city government to be able to do that workshop and basically continue that educational process. But my question, one of the questions I had is, if you did that workshop, how much do you typically charge? What's a budget for a workshop, and what does, you know, a facilitator in the commercial sense charge if they were to do it? Yeah.
In the commercial sense, NGO, the Climate Frisk NGO, has a strict outline for that. They say if you go to a company and to give a workshop, you have to bill 1,500 euros for the workshop of 3 hours. Of course, if you go to a company, you have to go first there and explain, and so you need a little bit more time. And so it's not expensive, because you can as one facilitator you can moderate 2 tables, so 14 people. So that's in the company, not expensive. And the NGOs does that, and I think that's a good explanation, because they say if you do this as a professional consultant, you have to pay 10% of your fee you get from the company as a donation to the NGO, because as we do donations to Rotary International so that they can have the organization of all of us. I mean, they do a lot of work, and of course we have a lot of voluntary people, but we need some paid people up there in the organization of Rotary, and therefore we also pay our member fees to get that one. And that's the same system with Climate Frisk NGO. And if we do it on a voluntary work, as I said, the NGOs says it would be kind if you spend 10 to 30 euros per participants in the workshop. And let's say if you go in a school, like I did now, the Rotaractors, for example. I said, okay, I have 6 Rotaractors, and I gave them the workshop and afterwards the training. And so I paid 300 euros as a donation for the NGO, so that the students didn't have to pay and not to make a donation. That's donations. It's not they don't pay, it's a donation. It's an official donation to the NGO. And for example, you can do this also if we bring voluntary freskers, not Rotarians, from the Fresker community, from the trainer community. The first thing is to help them to get in the schools. Even that would be a good assistance, to speak with the teachers, to speak with the leaders of the school, to get the possibility and to organize it. And then the Fresker only has to come with his papers, with his cards, and go in there and give his free time to run the workshop. The best thing is, of course, if we also would have like Rotaractors, like I can say, the 6 Rotaractors, they are really full of energy and saying, we are doing that workshops in schools, we like it, we want to do something. So we can promote, like I did now, you could promote Rotaractors. I can help you in the first workshops to find good trainers online, to say the trainer, would you please do this free as a voluntary? We do this small account donation, so that the Rotaractors don't have to donate by themselves. That could be a thing we as Rotarian club or district or whatever can, or like I did as a single Rotarian. So that's a possibility to spread it around our community. And of course, if one of our friends who is a manager in the company or who owns the company says, wow, that's a great idea, I could do it in my company, very, very welcome, because like in ESFRAG, we have a working group under the president of ESFRAG, Sam, you know him, and there we are working on sustainable investment. And we can't change all the system on our personal habits. We have to change the production habits. We have to change the capitalism system and all this. And so it would be on this side, it would be very, very worthwhile for our environmental actions in Rotary to get also this way, to get a way to scale up in companies and bring these ideas to companies and say, understand, oh, we have to do something. We don't have to wait that our politicians will say, now you have to. So then it's maybe too late. So that's, Harish, a very, very good point. It's not, and of course then, but I mean, I'm a consultant. It's absolutely not a lot of money the companies are going to pay for this workshop. It's really, I don't want to say cheap, but it's normally you pay much more for such team. It's also a team play. It's also a team workshop. So it's really, really even great for this. And we have also in Germany, we have teachers. They say, okay, we want to train, to take the workshop and then to get the training so that we are able to train our pupils in the school by ourselves. So that's also a possibility. So there are a lot of ways to get to action. A very simple is, and I can help you. We have a world map. Yeah, there you can go on every country, and you get the name and the email address of the Fresca who is responsible for the country, and they all do it on a free work basis. So they, like we Rotarians, work for Rotary without.
Barbara, that's a very excellent explanation that you gave to Harish. Did you get everything that you needed, Harish?
Oh yeah. I think
Okay.
there's some
All
other
right.
questions.
I have raised my hand, but I'm going to. We have someone here with us on the iPhone, and why don't you go ahead and ask your question or make your comment?
Hi, this is Ravi. Sam, this is Ravi.
Yes. How
Hi.
are you?
Hi.
Okay.
Hi,
I just
I'm
saw
good. I'm good.
iPhone,
Sorry,
but I couldn't
I
see
joined a
your.
little
I
late.
couldn't see your face. But
Yeah.
anyway, welcome. Did you have a comment or a question you wanted to ask of Barbara?
Yeah, in fact, I joined a little late, but what I'm just able to correlate it with the typical peer coaching kind of thing, actually, Barbara. Am I right? What we have been, I'm trying to connect it with the peer coaching.
Oh, please say it again. I didn't get it.
Peer coaching.
Peer coaching. The concept of peer coaching is a tool.
PEER, Barbara. Peer coaching.
Yeah. You can say it's yeah. Of course. I mean, it's like a coaching, and if you start to coach some of our Rotarian friends, I can give it scale it up on the next thing. It's very something like this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I understood actually, and it's a wonderful tool actually. About few months back, I had an opportunity to interact with one of my German colleagues from Munich itself, and wherein I had spent some time from. I was a part of IGCC actually, Indo-German Chamber of Commerce, and wherein they had conducted a similar kind of peer coaching program, and wherein they had used about 15 to 20 people together to discuss about the various aspects related to the business problems, of course. Now here we are talking about it, the project or the issues related to the 7 focus of area, and this could be the fantastic tool. This is what I can realize from the discussion and what I have understood from past 20-25 minutes from you actually.
You are absolutely right, and I really so I see only the iPhone 2. So Dr.
My name is Ravi. Sorry, I'm not able to change that actually somehow. But next time I will ensure that the name will be available.
but maybe you
As
can.
long as you're here, that's all that counts. How's that?
You can connect
Excellent
me with
comments.
friends in Munich, yeah, great, absolutely.
Barbara, you made a comment earlier. I wanted to follow up on it. Is this the nonprofit organization? And so you have this collaborative, and I think this goes back to VJ and also Harish were talking about this collaboration. The public speaking has the same kind of thing. And we have that type of relationship between Rotary and the public speaking group, Toastmasters.
Toastmasters, yeah.
Which is really big in the United States. I think it's actually global, but that's a formal relationship that we have. And so everything that you said about how to organize, doing it in a for-profit way, doing it as a nonprofit, a volunteer, within clubs, within schools, really fits into the model that we have with Toastmasters as well. So it's already been done, and there's other organizations as well, but Toastmasters actually is expanding again because the relationship it's having with Rotary International, and many Rotary clubs are now bringing in the Toastmasters, one, to recruit them as members, of course, and then secondly is to have their expertise. When I was in university doing my doctorate, I attended some of the Toastmasters sessions and enjoyed them quite well. And there's really good speaking opportunities there. And again, it broadens the base as far as Rotary is concerned, and it broadens the base for Toastmasters. And this could be the same thing with your climate fresk.
Yes.
VJ, do you have any more questions or comments you would like to bring up?
No, I just would like to
We're going over a little bit. Let me just interject this. We're going over a little bit because I think this has come together very well. We have about 3.5 minutes, a little bit over, but that's okay. This is well worth it. So VJ, go ahead.
So just taking it forward from you, as you said, we have a tie-up with Toastmasters and we can do here. So what we can do initially is we can, at club level, we can connect them and take them as speakers and facilitators in various clubs. Once that is done and once we do it across, say, continents, then we can write to Rotary officially and get a mail from that NGO also and try to connect them officially. That can be done.
Now, organizing something for our ICC, do you think it's better that we send this information out to the clubs? I think, is that what you were just sharing
what
with us,
we can do is we can circulate to them that you can give us a brief, Barbara, about this organization, so that we'll circulate to the clubs that in case you need speakers and more information on the climate fresk thing, please let us know. We will arrange online speakers for you, and then we can jointly do that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, this presentation you will be. It is recorded, and a lot of people can see it afterwards. And of course,
in the individual club meetings, we will call facilitators. Like you can come in at your convenient time if the timing of that club is convenient to you, because we have clubs running 24/7. If you see, Rotary works 24/7. Dr. Sam is at 11 o'clock in the morning and I am at 10. I am facing 10:15 in the evening, night. So we are working there. By this time, Australia must be getting up at 3:30 a.m. So you never know. Accordingly, if your timing matches, or maybe some other speakers who can match to that time, they can come and deliver talks, and that way awareness can be created.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, I could shorten up this speech. We don't need, that's only for you who are going to hopefully to help me to scale it up. But of course, I could shorten up on even 5 minutes just to get them about the information, to connect me and to connect the climate fresk and just to know there is something like the climate fresk. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have
Barbara Rotary protocol say 20 minutes speak. That's
yeah, I know, but some clubs have here in Germany, we have that it's called 5 minutes. It's from a it's only information, and then we have the normal talk about 25
Yeah,
minutes.
but that would be too short. 20 minutes is ideal. So to get the grasp of it, at least people should get the grasp of what you want to say. In 5 minutes, it becomes difficult. And okay, you have the concept, you may shorten your speech, but the people listening should also
Yeah.
grasp it. The intent is that they should understand and take it forward.
Yeah,
We do not want to just leave it at that.
I'm happy. I'm doing this now here in Germany. I'm invited from a lot of clubs who says, "Hey, it's so interesting. Please come and say us." And of course, it would be much easier if I could speak at a conference with a lot of people and not only a club meeting, a normal club meeting. So as you said, Dr. Sam, at a conference, it would be great, or at the European Institute where I will have the chance to speak about it and. So of course that is much better.
Now we're going to put out the Zoom recording. We'll have some usually VJ does some very nice photographs of the people that are participating. But is there any additional, say, one paragraph, or maybe the lead facilitator, say, for India, the lead facilitator for the United States, and maybe some other countries that maybe a couple on the African continent, and I could just add that as a second paragraph into the minutes. And say, because then it's just, I think this is what VJ is getting to. We can help promote, but I think if people see it in the minutes, and then they can just contact you directly, with your contact information, just like you had in your slide. And then if you had, again, someone for India, someone for the United States, perhaps Canada, a few other countries, and we'll just add that as another line in our minutes that I'll be sending out actually over this weekend. That'll help VJ and I both.
I can connect you pan India. I can connect you pan Africa to various countries.
Yeah, super. I can get. I would. If you see, can you still see my slides?
No, your slides.
Okay, there you go.
Not right now.
But there is a world card. And I can there you see it's all over, and I will make you a list with all the people in the different countries and with the email addresses where our friends can directly go, because I would like to help everybody, every Rotarian worldwide, but I think maybe it's not possible that I have the time to do that.
Yeah. Well, I think if you're giving those links, and it goes back to what VJ was talking about, and I think if we can get it out so they can actually go to you directly, and then maybe at your first response, you just copy the two of us and we'll say, hey, the ICC has achieved this, and then the rest of the conversations just goes on between you and, whoever that coordinator may be. It could be somebody in Lebanon, it could be in Nigeria, it could be in Morocco, could be anywhere in the world.
Yes.
But if our ICC is reaching out to the world and having that kind of response, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing as a ICC. So that's success for us. And if we get some in India, great. But if we get them in other countries, that's perfectly fine as well. Yeah. Anyone else here would like to make a last statement, because we are going over time, and we like to end as close to our 1 hour promises possible. But Barbara, you did a fantastic job. Thank you for being with us, and your spirit to want to do even more is absolutely impressive. So thank you very much for all of that. And you did a very nice job with our ESRAG group when you spoke there. And that one was 20 minutes, VJ, that she had on our Mid-Atlantic ESRAG in the Caribbean. And that worked out very well, but she asked for a little more time for our ICC, in which we granted, and then I wanted to have this time we could just discuss about maybe future workshops, either through or with help from our ICC. So VJ, you want to give a thank you and close us out?
Thanks, Dr. Sam. It is my pleasure to give a vote of thanks, a well-deserved vote of thanks to everybody, especially Barbara, for bringing out this important topic and creating awareness amongst us. Thank you, Barbara, for taking out time and giving us such a detailed presentation. I would also like to thank Harish and Ravi for joining us, taking out their time in spite of their schedules. Looking forward to see you guys again in February. That's all. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Sam, again for being with me as always.
Yeah, no, we have a good partnership and I enjoy being with you. Okay, I'm gonna, I guess we're formally ending and I'll wait for the Zoom and I'll be getting this out over the weekend because I'll be in Colombia for about a week and a half for an international Rotary Projects Fair. So I want to get the minutes out. And then in February, we're going to be talking about this peace walk, peace march for the peace poles and the peace groves across India. And we have a list of some of the clubs, Barbara, that in India that are within these various cities that Mahatma Gandhi himself stopped. And so we're going to actually trace one of, or what we're proposing, I should say. I don't want to get in trouble with VJ. We're going to march along on these different towns and cities he went to and actually put peace poles in each of those areas. That's what we're proposing. And then I want to add to that the peace grove. So we'll have 5, 6, or 7 native species trees. And we want to take a photograph, Google satellite of what we're seeing across this pathway. And then after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years to see if we can actually see the greening of these surrounding groves around the peace poles. So it's an audacious idea, and we'll see if we can bring this to fruition. So thank you, VJ.
Thank you, sir.
And everyone else.
We'll be meeting on the 15th of February. This time.